If you have that skill set, the skill set that Jon Jones has, doesn't matter what weight class, he will be able to compete. That's a fact. You can love him, you can hate him, but that's a fact. Like 185, Jon Jones can compete. 205, Jon Jones can compete. 280, 265 or whatever the weight is, heavyweight, Jon Jones can compete. He will compete against anybody. So for him to go to heavyweight, I don't know if it's as risky as people are trying to make it seem.
Not only myself, the whole mixed martial arts world has been waiting as to when Jon Jones is going to fight again. Obviously, he's been preparing for the heavyweight division for a long time, which I think has served him well. Getting up to that heavyweight division, doing it properly, putting on the muscle, doing it, adjusting your body for that for years takes time. And I think he's ready, and I can't wait to see Jon Jones unleash hell in the heavyweight division.
3 years away, coming back, a lot of expectation, a lot of pressure on his shoulders, going up against the #1 heavyweight prospect that we've got in the UFC, Ciryl Gane, a guy that's bigger, a guy that's very fast, mobile, agile, knockout power. He hasn't been here in 3 years. The pressure, can I still do it? Have I still got it? Am I still going to be able to go 5 rounds at a fast pace? All these things, all these questions, all these burdens, all this pressure that you put on yourself, will that affect him?
It's a challenging fight for Jon Jones, and if he finds himself in there quite flat-footed and Cyryl's moving around and chopping into his legs, and it could run away from him very quickly. You don't know where his confidence is at after such a long time out, and you don't know how he's going to feel as a heavyweight being in there against someone that doesn't move like a heavyweight, you know. Lots of questions on the table for Jon Jones right now, I think.
Obviously, with being out for 3 years and in a new division, there's a lot of questions that cause me to stay up long nights, but it keeps me sharp. And that's something that I felt like I didn't have at light heavyweight towards the end. Towards the end, it just felt like another day at the office. This doesn't feel like another day at the office. This feels very different. The nerves and the anxiety, it's all back. And I do good. I do good when I'm under pressure. So I'm just really excited.
Ali took 3 years off and didn't look the same when he came back. We'll see what happens with Jon. One of the things that Jon has put the weight on naturally, though. He didn't do it overnight. It's taken a long time, and he's ready to roll. He's excited to fight, so we'll see what happens.
I'm a fan of Jon Jones. I like to see him fight. I can't wait to see him come back. You know, a lot of people is like, yeah, he was out for a long time. Sorry, he was out for a long time, but he's Jon Jones. You know what I mean? Don't forget that he's Jon Jones. You know, he's like arguably the best fighter of all time.
I think that Jones will do well in heavyweight if he can keep the guys from hitting him, which, you know, I had a hard time punching Jon Jones. I don't think I landed anything clean on him. If he's gotten even a 1% better at avoiding getting hit in the face, I think he'll do well at a heavyweight because he's a great wrestler, and I think that he'll be able to control the fight and take him down and fight. One thing about Jon Jones, I think that, you know, he has a strong mind, and whatever he puts his mind to, he can do it.
Now, the one fight that would make me instantly say I favor Jon Jones in this matchup is the fight Ciryl Gane had with Francis Ngannou this time last year. As we know, in that fight, Francis Ngannou turned into a wrestler, took Ciryl Gane down time after time, and that's essentially what got him the victory via decision. My point I'm making is if Francis Ngannou can take down Ciryl, more than likely Jon can.
I studied Ciryl Gane a lot. I studied his Francis Ngannou fight a lot. I was interested to see how Francis performed against Southpaw, and Ciryl had a lot of success in that fight. So I was watching Cyryl's offensive attacks and his Francis fight. I watched that fight many times. Now I am focused on Ciryl Gane completely.
Jon Jones is going to take him down and lay on him and just finish him there. Jones's wrestling is next caliber. Nobody comes close to what Jon Jones can produce in the octagon. This is my opinion. But if you look at his statistics, he He can take people down with ease. He can grapple them with ease. He can strike with the best of them. He's got cardio and strength and power and height and physique. He has it all. He has it all. And Jones is one of those guys that has probably the highest IQ in the game. Yeah. He can see a weakness and he'll exploit it.
The immediate thought is Jones is going to use his wrestling to beat him. That's going on in my group message right now. But you've got to think, after Francis took Ciryl Gane down last year to win that fight, that Ciryl Gane has worked diligently in order to improve his takedown defense. So what happens if Jones can't take Ciryl Gane down? What happens if Jones is forced to stand with this guy?
And I don't know what is a good way for win against me. Yes, because some people like to say my wrestling game is not good because of the fight of Francis with Francis. But this is not the truth. I was not focused on it. Just that. It was just that. I'm well rounded too. So now I can imagine more like a fight. We're gonna stay on the feet, and maybe we're gonna try sometime to go down. Yeah.
Jon is a hard man to stop. You know, if you are focusing on stopping a takedown, Jon is so creative and he can hit you. He has so many tools in his repertoire, his tool belt, you know, with his elbows and the front kicks, the leg attacks. There's not a strike that he can't utilize. And when somebody in a single, like a modality of, okay, I'm gonna just have to out counter wrestle this guy, like that's your plan, he's gonna knock you out. And then, so you gotta show up to want to fight. And Ciryl Gane has to show up to want to fight.
I don't think Jon he's not a powerful 205er. So I think that he may have some issues maybe backing some of those guys off at heavyweight, just because he doesn't possess that kind of zapping power that's going to sting you and make you want to take a step back, because he didn't have that at 205.
And Jon, he might not punch hard, but I will say when he hits guys, he hits them with elbows, he hits them with knees, and he cuts people up. Gane is very technical. He stabs at his opponents. He probes, gets in, get out. The biggest advantage for me in this fight is Jon's championship caliber fights, that experience, and then on top of that, his wrestling acumen. I think that's going to be something that he's going to heavily have to rely on.
Gane is a force to be reckoned with. This is somebody who has got power and he's got movement. You know, Jon Jones is going to be fighting somebody, you know, same build. I mean, probably a little bit bigger naturally. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And he's been fighting at this weight for a very long time. Former sparring partner of Ngannou. So I think it's a great matchup. I think it's a tough one, especially coming back and being out for so long for Jon Jones.
I agree. You know, both incredibly talented guys. Ciryl Gane is a heavyweight that moves like a middleweight. He's got a really well-rounded game, and you know, Jon Jones is the best to ever do it, in my opinion. So you couldn't ask for a better fight.
Oof, tough one. I saw Jon's the underdog too. Look at Jon; he's a gamer. He's been getting bigger. He's got time to get big. Just didn't bulk it up. He's an amazing fighter, and then Gane, that guy, you know, the guy brings it every time. He gets better after every fight. You know, even after a loss. You know, he's gotten better, so we'll see. You know, I mean,
I have a huge respect for all my career for one guy, and it's Jon Jones. Yeah, and I'm very looking forward for his fighting in a heavyweight.
I'm gonna go Jones. I think he wants to make a statement. I think he wants to just get this win. So I think he's gonna emphasize the win over the highlight.
Guys, Jon Jones is one of the most talented people I've ever competed against in the octagon, on the wrestling mat, on the football field. That's just the truth. But it's time for Jones now to stop limiting himself. It's time for him to start that next chapter.
My immediate goals is to beat Ciryl Gane and to beat Stipe Miocic. I want the fans to know that there's levels to this game, and I'm excited to show the world how great I can be.